Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. The Nintendo Switch is one of my favorite consoles of all time. In fact, it's quickly climbing to be my favorite console of all time, bar none without question. The actual uses and advances in technology that it presents to the end user are seemingly endless. Everything it can do blows my mind. Being able to play these retro games on the go, being able to play these AAA titles in bed while I'm about to go to sleep, it just has everything I'd ever want in a console. And then they recently announced that a Nintendo Switch Lite is coming down the pipe for those of us who want to save a little bit of money and have just a portable only console. It might be, some may say, a little overpriced, or the colors may not be exactly what they wanted, but for what it presents to the gamer, it's a choice, and more choices are always better. But there is something more coming down the pipe from Nintendo that got recently leaked by Nintendo of Japan. And this is something that, if you don't have a Nintendo Switch yet and you are thinking about getting one, don't. Yet. According to Nintendo's website, that new Switch revision will last between 4.5 and 9 hours, which 9 hours, honestly, probably if you just leave it in standby mode without playing a game. But even having 4.5 max hours by playing a game full on the entire time is a much longer battery life than what the original Switch offered to the end user. Nintendo estimates that people playing The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild will get about 5.5 hours of playtime when using the updated model, when compared to the original Switch giving you 2.5 to 6.5 hours of playtime depending on the game, with about 3 hours of playtime with Breath of the Wild. So that is an increase of 2.5 hours. Almost literally double the playtime on a single charge if you get the updated version. No information has been given on when this thing is coming, when it will be available, but it looks to be the same price. At least in Japan it's the same price. And what seems to be happening here is there's going to be a transition period, which is why it's important to keep tabs on what's going on with Nintendo. Otherwise, people might just go out and buy a Switch if they're feeling like they need to get one because all these fantastic games are coming out. Mario Maker 2, one of the best games ever made, just dropped. Tons of other games coming down the pipe, and a lot of people are getting hyped about the Nintendo Switch. But I'm urging you to wait, because when this new Switch model drops, it's going to render the original model far less useful than what the new one's going to do. It's not going to be the giant change that everyone was hoping for with the Switch Pro or anything like that, but it's going to be more along the lines of, I'm thinking the Game Boy Advance SP with the AGS 101 compared to the original model and the backlit screen and the frontlit screen. There is a gigantic difference in quality and clarity in those consoles, and collectors, gamers, people who want to go back and play those games now, always want the updated Game Boy Advance SP, and I have a feeling the Nintendo Switch down the line in the road in the future, it's going to be a very similar thought process with buyers as far as holding its value and being able to do more. They don't allude to anything special outside of the battery life, but because the processor is getting changed, and we covered this in a previous episode when they submitted the information to the FCC and asked to get this new chip on board and all these things, maybe there'll be faster load times, maybe there'll be subtle differences, but again, right now, Nintendo of Japan is saying it's strictly going to be limited to battery life, which in itself, not a huge deal, but when you consider how much battery life the new model's going to give, it's a pretty stark contrast, and honestly, it makes me want to go get another Switch, something that will last quite a bit longer. No date, no price point set, but like I said, should be coming soon, and most likely will be launching around the same price as the original Nintendo Switch model. I would venture to guess that it will be coming out alongside when the Nintendo Switch Lite arrives this September. Possibly both of those consoles going to retailers in time for the holidays, but it is something to keep an eye out for. I would imagine Nintendo would do something to let people know that it is going to be an updated model, like on the box art saying now with a longer battery life, or now with 2 times the battery, or something like that, so people know it it is the updated version. Not to mention, it will be guaranteed to have the updated Joy-Cons, because we all know anyone who was an early adopter with the Nintendo Switch was getting caught with these Joy-Cons that had disconnecting issues and lots of problems with that. So there's a lot of benefits just holding out a little bit longer to get this updated Switch revision model when it finally does drop, whenever that is. That's all I got for you guys today, but let me know in the comments below, are you interested in a new Switch with better battery life, or is it really not that big of a deal to you? I'd be very interested to hear. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, you stay smashing. Smash,